Hi, Barbara. Here are the top 5 security facts we learned this week. Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman this week urged lawmakers to boost military spending by over $1 billion over the next 3 years, citing shifting developments in Syria and elsewhere that are posing a growing threat to Israel's security. Lieberman called for an immediate addition of 4.8 billion shekels to his budget in 2020, saying the previous figure decided on in 2015 was insufficient in light of dramatic changes from the Syrian civil war and around the region, including Iran and Russia's presence in the war-torn country.
The state of Israel is dealing every day with new challenges and new threats, growing more lethal and more dangerous. To ensure the safety and security of the people of Israel, it is absolutely critical to maintain Israel's qualitative military edge.
Moving on now, Governor Mohammed Bindau of Adamawa, Nigeria, is urging residents of the state to be more security conscious to avert further suicide attacks, announcing that he would hold a Security Council meeting in order to restore the stable and secure environment. A suicide bomber killed at least 50 people in northeastern Nigeria this week in an attack on a mosque which bore the hallmarks of a faction of the Islamic militant group Boko Haram. The bombing in Adamawa state was one of the deadliest in Nigeria's northeast since President Buhari came to power in 2015, pledging to end Boko Haram's 8-year insurgency and attacks by the group on civilian and military targets. A new signal sparks fresh hope for the missing Argentinian submarine as rescue planes and ships are deploying to the area. 2 different sources informed Argentinian media that a heat signal had been spotted. The heat stain appeared to be coming from a metallic object about 300 kilometers off the Argentine coast and 70 meters deep in the South Atlantic. All 54,000 U.S. military personnel in Japan were ordered to stay away from alcohol for an indefinite period starting this week, following a fatal car crash. A 21-year-old Marine crashed his 2-ton military truck into another vehicle, killing a Japanese civilian driver. The Marine in question, Nicholas James McLean, was found to have had a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit when he struck the 61-year-old victim. Witnesses said the military vehicle cruised through a red light while the Japanese driver was turning right. The accident is the latest in a string of incidents involving U.S. military personnel on the Okinawa Island, which hosts tens of thousands of U.S. military. And finally, number 5, cab operator Uber Technologies said this week 2 hackers accessed personal data of its 57 million users and drivers. The attack, which occurred in late 2016, gave up names, email addresses, and phone numbers of its users and drivers. But the company paid hackers $100,000 to keep secret the massive breach. Discovery of the U.S. company's cover-up of the incident resulted in the firing of 2 employees responsible for the response to the hack. And those were the top 5 security facts we learned this week. Back to you, Barbara.